Hey everyone, ready to tackle the IELTS speaking test? We're diving deep into some awesome tips from the Ace Your IELTS podcast.
You know, it's interesting because the IELTS speaking test isn't about sounding like, Shakespeare.
Right.
It's really about, can you actually communicate?
Yeah,
Can you get your ideas across
I like that.
and engage the other person?
It's about connection,
Exactly.
not just like this perfect performance.
Yeah.
So let's break this test down.
Okay.
There's 3 parts, right?
Yeah, 3 parts.
What makes each part unique?
So each part has its own kind of challenges and opportunities.
Okay.
You can think of part 1 like a warm-up.
Okay.
You're chatting about familiar topics, like your work or your hobbies, things you'd talk about.
Right.
When you're meeting someone new,
Yeah.
the examiner wants to see if you're comfortable with everyday English conversation.
So part 1 is like showing you can handle the basics.
Exactly.
What about part 2?
All right, part 2.
This is the one everyone calls the long turn.
Yes, the dreaded long turn.
Is it as scary as it sounds?
Well, it asks more of you.
Okay.
You have to imagine giving a mini presentation.
Oh.
They give you a topic,
Right.
you get a minute to prepare,
Okay.
and then you speak for 1 to 2 minutes.
Wow.
So this part tests your vocabulary, but also can you structure your thoughts?
Yeah.
And can you keep someone engaged?
Interesting.
It's like storytelling.
Oh, so it's a storytelling challenge.
It is.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then part 3,
Part 3.
I've heard that's where things get interesting.
It's more dynamic.
Okay.
So it's really a two-way discussion.
Okay.
You're going back and forth with the examiner
Oh, wow.
about the topic you explored in part 2.
Oh, cool.
So they'll ask for your opinions.
Okay.
They'll challenge you to analyze. They want to see
Okay.
if you can connect ideas in a thoughtful way.
Interesting.
So, this is where you show off
Okay.
your critical thinking.
Wow. So it goes from like casual chat
Right.
to storytelling.
Yep.
To like a deep dive.
It does.
I like it.
Yeah.
So understanding the structure is a huge advantage going in.
Absolutely. Knowing what to expect helps you prepare
Right.
and feel more confident.
But speaking of preparation,
Yes.
Ace, your IELTS had some really interesting advice
Yes, they did.
that goes beyond just practicing speaking.
They emphasize that it's not about speaking more English.
Okay.
It's about speaking effectively.
Oh.
And one of the best tips
Yes.
is to record yourself.
Ooh, that could be scary.
It can be awkward,
Yeah.
but it's incredibly valuable.
Yeah. I get it, like hearing your own voice sometimes.
It's cringy.
Yeah, but it's like watching a game film. You can see all the little things.
You notice things you wouldn't otherwise.
Right.
Are you using the same words over and over again?
Yeah.
Are you getting stuck on certain grammatical structures? Are your sentences trailing off? Recording yourself helps identify these areas.
So it's like fine-tuning,
Yeah.
making sure you sound clear and engaging.
Exactly.
It's like practicing your swing in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Repetition helps smooth out those rough edges.
Yes.
Did they have any specific strategies for part 2,
They did.
that long turn?
Yes, because that's the one that trips people up.
Yeah.
So one suggestion is use the full minute of prep time.
Okay.
Don't rush it.
Right.
Jot down some key points.
Okay.
Maybe a simple outline.
Got it.
Just to guide your response.
Okay.
And then set a timer
Great.
for 2 minutes
2 minutes.
and practice speaking on various topics without stopping.
Wow.
More challenging than it sounds.
Yeah, I bet.
But it builds your stamina and fluency.
So timer on,
Yes,
practice those 2-minute talks,
exactly.
and really use that prep time strategically.
Yes.
Did they give any suggestions for topics?
They did?
Because is it a free-for-all?
It's not a free-for-all.
Or are there themes?
There are common themes. Okay.
They said, familiarize yourself with common IELTS topics.
All right, like what?
Travel,
Okay.
education, technology, the environment.
Got it.
Things that come up in everyday conversation.
Right.
You don't have to become an expert,
Okay.
but having some thoughts and vocabulary ready can be a lifesaver.
That makes sense. So it's not about memorizing obscure facts.
No.
It's about having that foundation.
Exactly.
So you've got structure,
Right.
targeted practice. What about sounding impressive?
Yes.
Is it all about fancy vocabulary?
It's not about using big words just to show off.
Okay.
It's about using vocabulary strategically.
Okay, I like that.
So they gave a great example.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, I was happy,
Yeah.
try saying, I was over the moon.
Over the...
Over the moon.
I love that.
It paints a more vivid picture.
It does. It's expressive and memorable.
Yes.
It packs more punch than just happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the key is to use expressive vocabulary.
Right.
That feels natural. and relevant to the topic.
Makes sense.
So you want to enhance your message, not overshadow it.
Got it.
It's like adding spices to a dish.
Oh.
A pinch can elevate the flavor.
Yeah.
But too much can ruin it.
Too much can ruin it.
Exactly.
So we're becoming word chefs now.
Yes, we are.
Carefully selecting the right ingredients for our linguistic masterpiece.
That's a great way to put it.
It's not just about memorizing the dictionary. It's about understanding the nuance.
Exactly.
And the impact of our word choices.
Yeah.
But fluency and coherence are equally important.
Absolutely.
And we'll dive into those in the next segment.
Sounds good.
So we talked about targeted practice and using vocabulary strategically.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about fluency and coherence.
Okay.
Those seem so important.
They are.
But what do they actually, mean in the context of this IELTS speaking test?
That's a great question.
So fluency, it's not just about speaking fast. It's about maintaining a smooth and natural flow.
Right.
Connecting your ideas logically. Speaking clearly so the examiner can follow you.
Right.
Think of it like a well-paved road.
Yeah.
No sudden bumps or detours.
I like that.
You want it to be a smooth ride.
So it's not about being a speed demon.
No.
It's about being clear and keeping the conversation moving.
Exactly.
Got it. What about coherence?
Okay, so coherence...
How does that fit in?
Coherence is all about making your speech easy to understand.
Okay.
It's like using signposts to guide the listener.
Oh.
So you're using linking words and phrases.
Okay.
Like because, however, or for example, to connect your sentences and paragraphs.
Yeah.
And it shows the relationship between your ideas.
So coherence is about providing those connections,
Yes.
those little bridges to help the listener follow along.
Yeah, you don't want them to get lost.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Ace Your IELTS had some interesting tips about handling those moments.
Yes.
When you need a little thinking time.
Yeah.
When your mind goes blank and you're searching for the right word.
Oh, yeah, we've all been there.
Right.
So they recommended using filler phrases.
Yeah.
Things like, that's a great question.
Oh, yeah.
Or, let me think about that for a moment. Gives you a couple of seconds to gather your thoughts.
Right.
Without disrupting the flow.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah, it's like a pause button that keeps things moving.
But would too many filler phrases make you sound hesitant?
That's a good point.
Or unsure of yourself?
You don't want to overuse them.
Okay.
But a few well-placed filler phrases can actually make you sound more natural and thoughtful.
Okay.
It shows that you're engaged in the conversation, not just rattling off a memorized answer.
It's about finding that balance.
Exactly.
So we've covered fluency and coherence.
Yes.
Those essential elements of clear communication. Now, what about grammar and pronunciation?
Okay.
I know a lot of people get hung up on these.
They do.
During the test.
Yeah, it's understandable that people feel pressure to sound perfect. But the good news is perfection isn't the goal.
Okay.
The examiner wants to see that you can use English effectively.
Okay, that takes the pressure off a little bit.
Good.
So it's not about being a grammar guru or having a flawless accent.
No.
What should we focus on then?
Ace Your IELTS. Stress the importance of using a variety of sentence structures.
Okay.
So don't just rely on simple sentences.
Got it.
Challenge yourself to use compound and complex sentences to add depth to your speech.
So it's about mixing it up.
Yeah.
Like a chef using different techniques.
Exactly.
But I have to admit, sometimes those complex sentences can be a little tricky.
They can be.
Any tips for making them feel more natural?
Practice.
Practice, okay.
Practice is key.
Got it.
Try incorporating different sentences into your daily English practice.
Okay.
And remember, it's okay to make mistakes.
Oh, good.
The examiner is more interested in your overall ability to communicate
than in isolated errors.
Exactly.
That's reassuring. Did they have advice on pronunciation as well?
They did. They said clarity is more important than having a native-like accent.
All right.
So focus on speaking clearly, enunciating your words, stressing the correct syllables. Yeah. And if you stumble over a word, don't panic.
Okay.
Take a breath, try again, or even paraphrase if you need to.
So it's about being understandable.
Yeah.
And keeping the conversation going.
Exactly.
Even if you hit a little bump in the road.
Right.
I know they also talked about staying calm during the test.
Very important.
This seems like a big one.
It is.
Any practical tips for managing test day jitters?
First, remember the examiner wants you to succeed.
Oh, that's good.
They're not there to intimidate you.
Okay.
So try to treat the test
like a conversation.
Yeah.
A chance to share your thoughts and experiences.
So shift your mindset
Yes.
from interrogation to interaction.
Exactly.
But what about those physical symptoms of nervousness?
Oh,
Like the racing heart, sweaty palms.
It happens.
Any tricks for dealing with those?
Everyone has different ways of calming down.
Okay.
Some people like deep breathing exercises.
Yeah.
Others prefer visualization techniques.
Right.
Or positive affirmations.
Okay.
Find what works best for you
Mm-hmm.
and practice those techniques.
So it's about having a toolkit of calming techniques.
Exactly.
And knowing which ones work best in those moments.
Yes.
So did Ace Your IELTS have any other tips?
Yes, they did.
That go beyond just like acing the test itself?
Yes. They offered some bonus tips.
Okay.
For continuing your English journey.
Awesome.
We'll dive into those next.
So we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
From understanding the structure
to practicing effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Vocabulary, grammar, fluency, coherence.
It's a lot.
It is. But I'm really intrigued by these bonus tips.
Oh, yeah.
What did they have to say about continuing the journey?
So one technique they highlighted is called shadowing.
Oh, shadowing. I've heard of this.
So it's where you listen to native English speakers and you try to mimic their pronunciation and intonation.
Oh, wow.
So you're basically becoming their vocal doppelganger.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's a great way to improve your fluency.
Right.
And get a feel for that natural rhythm of English.
It's like immersive. Did they have any other recommendations for immersion?
They did.
Okay.
They stressed the importance of surrounding yourself with English as much as possible. So, watch movies and TV shows, listen to podcasts, read English books and articles.
Got it.
And even try to have conversations with native speakers.
Right, if you have the opportunity.
European.
That makes sense. It's about creating that environment.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Even if you're not living in an English-speaking country.
Yeah.
Did they mention anything for expanding your vocabulary?
Yeah, so, flashcards are always good.
Yeah.
Or language learning apps.
There's tons of apps out there.
There are a lot.
Yeah.
But, learning vocabulary doesn't have to be a chore.
Right.
So just pay attention to new words you encounter. Mm-hmm. Maybe jot them down.
Yeah.
Create your own flashcards.
I like that it's like being curious and actively engaging.
Exactly.
It's like a treasure hunt.
It is.
You're discovering new words and adding them to your toolbox.
That's a great analogy.
So we've got shadowing, immersion, vocabulary expansion.
Yeah.
What else can we do?
Keep taking practice tests.
Oh, okay.
Even after you've taken the real IELTS.
That's a good point.
It helps keep your skills sharp.
Right.
And reinforces what you've learned.
So it's not just prepping for the test.
No.
It's about lifelong learning.
Exactly.
It seems like they're all about empowering people.
They are.
To become competent English speakers.
Yes.
Not just test takers.
That's the goal.
And, their final piece of advice.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably the most important one.
I agree.
Was be confident.
Yes, be confident.
Easier said than done.
It is.
Especially when you're facing a test like this.
It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. How do you actually cultivate confidence?
Well, I think it starts with acknowledging how far you've come.
That's a good point.
You've put in the effort.
Mm-hmm.
You've learned so much.
Right.
You've developed valuable skills.
Yeah.
So believe in yourself.
Yeah, sometimes we forget to acknowledge our progress.
We do.
It's easy to focus on what we haven't learned yet.
Yeah.
And overlook how far we've come.
Exactly.
So celebrate those wins.
Yes.
Give yourself credit.
You deserve it.
For all that hard work.
Yeah.
But what about those moments when the nerves kick in?
Yeah. Those are tough.
Any last-minute tips for staying calm?
Just remember the examiner wants you to do well.
Oh, that's good.
They're not there to judge you.
Okay.
Or make you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
They're there to facilitate a conversation.
Right.
And give you the space to demonstrate your skills.
So it's about shifting your perspective.
Yeah.
From being tested to having a conversation.
Exactly.
It's about showcasing what you can do.
Yes.
Not striving for perfection.
That's a good way to think about it.
So go into that test with a positive attitude.
Yeah.
A willingness to engage.
Mm-hmm.
And belief in yourself.
Absolutely.
This has been such a good deep dive.
It has.
We've learned so much.
We have.
From understanding the structure,
right?
The importance of practice,
yes,
vocabulary, grammar, fluency, coherence.
All the important things.
All the important things. But I think the biggest takeaway is the emphasis on mindset.
I agree.
Staying calm, being confident, and treating the test as an opportunity.
Yes.
To showcase your skills.
Exactly.
Not just your knowledge of grammar rules. And remember, the IELTS speaking test is just one step in your journey. It's a tool that can help you open doors.
That's right.
Connect with people, expand your horizons.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up,
I
want to leave you with a thought-provoking question.
All right.
Imagine you've aced the IELTS.
Yes.
What exciting possibilities does that open up?
What doors open?
Maybe it's studying abroad, landing that dream job, traveling to a new country, connecting with people from different cultures.
Those are all great things.
Whatever it is, hold that vision in your mind.
Yes.
Let it fuel your motivation and inspire you.
Absolutely.
To keep learning, keep growing.
Yeah.
And keep striving toward your goals.
That's what it's all about.